Sergeant, are you okay? Thank you, members of the Senate Agriculture Committee, the delegation from the Great County of Trans Nzoia, the Secretariat present, and to Kenyans who are following this proceeding live. The Committee of the Senate wants to give direction on the matter, cognizant of the fact that the work of this committee must be above board. The work of this committee must be non-political. The work of this committee is to oversight and ensure all invited county delegations are given a fair platform to express themselves, to discuss issues and justify their presentation. The committee will want to request the Governor of the Great County of Trans Nzoia to, one, proceed and introduce himself and present what you have. After that, we will adjourn the meeting and give you another day where you will come, and that day will be next week on Thursday, 12th of June, 10 a.m., where you will be able to interact with the committee. And yours truly, the Senator of Bungoma, the chair of the committee, will give you an ample time to present all that you have with your team without me being the chair of that session. The session will be led by Senior Counsel, Professor Ojenda, who will proceed moving forward to the conclusion of this matter. And therefore, from now, as you finish your presentation of the document, no senator is going to ask any question. You will simply just table your documents. You can take us through if you want. And then on Thursday, the entire committee will be there, headed by Senior Counsel Ojenda. And that extension equally gives you more ample time. If you have anything else that you would love to add that is not there, under the leadership of Professor, he will give guidance moving forward. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, is that ruling final? Because I only just want something before you do.
Proceed.
We banned the midnight oil and responded to all the issues. And in the interest of austerity measures, because every time we come here, we are spending a lot of money which you don't even have.
Okay.
Can we be allowed to dispense with this matter today?
Thank you, Governor.
Yeah. Please.
That being your request, honorable members, you can give us your feeling or your school of thought. If he presents, then we proceed. And then I want to cede my chair to Professor Ojenda. I will sit as a member and proceed with the program of the day.
Some clarification.
Yes,
it is his considered opinion, Chair, that he's prepared to proceed with the matter. And if it is his considered opinion that he's adequately prepared for the matter, then there is no harm proceeding with it. However, I would want the Governor to underline, we are not lumber stamp for anybody. We are independent individuals who come and sit in this committee with the interest of this country at heart. We do not, when we sit in a committee, we become apolitical. We are not affiliated to any side of the political divide. And therefore, we do not let ourselves be driven by anybody. And that's where when we sit there as a witness giving us evidence, we consider it with its merit, and we make a decision. And as has been pointed out, our decision is not final. The report that will come out with will be subject to discussion on the House by 67 members, and therefore we will be doing the committee a very great disservice if we do not produce a report that can stand the test of time. So if you're invited in any committee, this one or any other, know that we have a bigger responsibility ensuring that we do service to our colleagues by producing a document that can withstand the test of time. Thank you, Chair.
Can I comment?
Let the incoming chair give interim chair give his opinion.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much. Governor, I'm just concerned about a few things. In as much as you indicate that you're ready to proceed, you had indicated discomfort about certain questions that you have not referred to and that we do not know. I do not know whether now you take the view that you will be prepared to respond to any question that the members of the committee shall pose to you. Because if you say we proceed, then we will go the whole hog till the end. I think that's just a point that I need you to clarify, that once the chair steps out and I take the chair, as I shall, then now you are ready to proceed, and that now you are no longer dealing with, now the chair will now sit away as a Bukusuman and we can now proceed.
Yeah, immediately the chair leaves the chair, I become governor.
No longer a Bukusuman.
But of course, I'll have discomfort, which I'll not necessarily share if I see the same question that I was given as a leakage here, because I'm told they were prepared somewhere. I don't want to discuss them. And you proceed. But I was given this question because I was told this entire exercise is a lynching exercise. I've come here to be prosecuted, to be persecuted, and this question, there is a command center in Bungoma that has come up with these questions that are outside the issues that have been raised here. That's the only concern, but I'm ready to proceed.
Incoming chair, I want to, because of time, as a senior counsel, I trust your wisdom to defend the innocent and the guilty. I want to take a neutral position and proceed as an active member of this committee. Thank you.
So we'll dive, thank you, Chair. We will dive right in, as Chair of the Commission now, we'll dive right into the issues. Governor, I invite you to introduce your team. Have you done that?
I've done that.
Yes.
Now,
proceed to table the documents that you have.
I have a report here on all the issues raised, plus supporting documents in terms of appendices.
Honorable Chair.
Just confirming if you've tabled the documents, if they're all signed, just to confirm. Governor, the documents.
The document is not signed.
You need to sign it.
Yes.
Please proceed.
Just confirm if it's all duly signed. You could sign one copy so that you table that one, so that then you can proceed to present it. Yeah. Yes, I have the signed copy. You could go through, just take us through the documents that you've tabled so that we have it on record.
So we go issue by issue, starting on page 2. don't have to go into the introduction, just the background. So the first issue is a report on the procurement and tendering for maize seed. The issue was when and how the tender was advertised. The tender was advertised on Monday, 27th January 2025, through page 2 of the Daily Nation for the supply and delivery of hybrid maize seed under tender number 170-6296 of 2024-2025 as Pandex 1, which is on page 6. Additionally, the tender notice was published on the official Trans-Nzoia account website, www.transoia.go.ke, the suppliers portal, www.supplier.treasury.go.ke, the government tenders portal, www.tenders.go.ke, and the county public service board. 2, the list of companies or entities that submitted bids for the tender. Number 1 was Kenya Seed Company Limited of PO Box 553, 3200 Kitale. Relief Line Kenya Limited of PO Box 25914, 00100 Nairobi. And Western Seed Company of PO Box 1022, 3200 Kitale. Number C, the evaluation and awarding criteria outlined in the tender documents. The evaluation, which was at 3 stages, the preliminary, technical evaluation, and financial evaluation, and awarding criteria was as contained in the tender document, indicating the actual scores as per the typed Appendix 2, which is on page 8. Question 4, quantity of maize seed procured and the unit cost per bundle, and whether the cost was aligned to the prevailing market rates at the time of procurement. 256,029 packets of 2 kg each. 1 kg at a unit price of Kenya shillings 210. 2 kg at a unit price of Kenya shillings 420. A bundle has 12 packets of 2 kilograms costing 5,040 Kenya shillings per bundle. Note, based on the approved budget and market price, the initial quantity that was to be procured was 145,700 at a cost of 690. This was based on the market survey. You have to go to the market with the price as per Appendix 3 on page 23, requisition form. However, the Ministry of Agriculture circular reference number MOA/LCD/9/16/7, which revised the Kenya Seed Company pricing to Kenya shillings 420 per 2 kg packet, as documented in Appendix 4 on page 28, enabled the department to procure 256,029 packets out of estimated targeted population of 400,000 poor small-scale farmers, as per Akipra 2024. Number 5, criteria for identification and vetting of the beneficiaries, including the total number of packets of maize seed allocated to each beneficiary. Eligibility criteria. These must be small-scale farmers, small-scale landowners of 0.2 acres or less who are poor. Another category of widows, the youth, the elderly, persons living with disabilities, women or resource poor individuals. The selection of beneficiaries was conducted through a thorough vetting process by a designated ward selection committees. The county executive committee member is the appointing authority of the vetting committees as per the Trans Nzoia County Crop Agriculture Act 2021, Clause 9, which is Appendix 5 on page 30. The vetting criteria adopted the guidelines developed from Clause 10 of the Crops Act, that's Appendix 6 on page 34. Each beneficiary was allocated 1 packet of 2 kilograms certified hybrid seedlings. Number 6, the mode of communication with the public and how the distribution was undertaken in the county. The public was informed through multiple channels, the usual one that we use, including the ward planning committees, which comprise of ward administrator, ward agricultural officer, area chief, a representative of the area member of the county assembly, representatives of youths, representative of persons with disabilities, and representative of women. Distribution of notification letters to ward administrators, chiefs and village elders, use of public address systems, social media platforms, and public posters. How were the distributions undertaken in the county? Venues were identified per ward as per the attached schedule, Appendix 7 on page 39. The distribution was done publicly at the identified venues. And by the chairman, I want to confirm that I attended all the distribution activities in all the 25 wards. Some had 2 venues, others had 1, but I was personally present in all of them. So that's our report. The rest are supporting documents.
Is that all? Do you want to cede way to your CCM Agriculture to say anything or to add anything?
Unless you have something to add, that was the report from the counter. Maybe if there are any issues to be raised, then we'll respond.
So you're prepared for questions. Members, just for some direction, Governor, if we ask you questions and should you want to consult or ask your CCM to respond, you'll ask for leave so that they can then respond to the question. Now, just some housekeeping issues. I want you to refer you to page 10, page 13, page 16, and 18. Go to page 10. Members, go to page 10. I don't know whether all of you are able to read, whether your page 10s are legible. Maybe you can. Page 10, you can go to page 10 that has a list of the score sheet. What is the date of page 10? Governor, just page 10. Yeah, we cannot clearly see. Is there a date for at page 10?
It's 10. 3rd of February. 3rd of February, 2025.
Well, where is the 3rd of February? That's or 3rd of, up on the part of the date.
Just before farms, that is at this point. It's the deadline.
They're different. Some are not ready. What about page 13? Let's go to page 13 again, the one that is also not very clear. 13 was not, some of them are not numbered. I don't know whether you can page 13. And page 16 as well. 16 again is not very clear. I think it's the same document.
Yeah. We admit.
And page 17 and 18 as well.
Yeah, documents that were written by hand. Actually, for so many of them.
They become unclear. Your team should make better copies next time. Now, so Governor, you have presented, you have indicated the supply chain and how the procurement process was undertaken. I would ask members to dive right to questions. I will start with Mr. Abbas.
Thank you, Chair.
Senator Abbas, proceed.
For one, I think I will ask, through your Chair, about whether the Governor can be able to present something readable, that's eligible that can be seen. These are very important documents. So you can have original copies or whatever, however you do it. I'll request for copies. So, okay, my question is, Honorable Speaker, sorry, Governor. You know, in line with Section 104(1) of County Government Act 265, can you confirm that the document series was part of the approval plans or part of the budget? You have approval?
I can confirm, Chair, that we had a budget for the seat. It was captured even in our procurement plan.
You have a copy of that plan?
You have it?
Governor, have you shared that document with your response?
No. It was not part of the queries.
So are you able to avail the document?
Yes, we have. We have the document.
Senator is referring to.
Actually, I'm told it's attached. Which page? Page 40. On page 40.
On the same point.
Yes.
Proceed, Senator.
Page 40. Approved development budget estimates for financial year 2024-2025.
The problem is that your responses are not numbered. There's no numbering. There's no numbering of the documents that I have. What I have does not have, is not paginated.
Time, Chair, the time. We can't have a perfect document because of the shortness of time.
Page 40.
Development budget.
Yes. Under 311301, purchase of certified crop seed. It's 100,503,121.
So was this thing approved by the Assembly?
Definitely. It was.
Do you have the approvals by the Assembly? Do you have evidence of approval by the Assembly? Now that I think is a question you need to complete.
Yes, you know, once the Assembly approves the budget, it's going to be fastened. So really, if a copy is required, I can get it from my office.
Yes, it's important because that's an important question.
Because the budget, the approved budget is there, we can provide it.
Yes, I think that's important for the department to ensure that
It's provided.
it's available for purposes of responding to that question comprehensively. Okay. Senator Abbas, any other question? No. Senator Ngoma?
Now, you have clearly indicated that it was budgeted for.
Yes.
I want to find out from your office if there is a clear inventory after the supply of these seats, if there is an inventory of who received them, how they were kept, and by the time of distribution, if there is any documentation to that effect. So that we can be able to know that they truly supplied what has been given to us today.
Honorable Senator, the inventory is there of what was procured and received and how it was distributed.
Do you have copies of the delivery, whoever delivered, who received, and who was issuing the seats as they were going to the field? The documentation part of it.
We have the documentation.
Please.
Which page is it? S13, for receiving.
Again, there is no pagination. I need to know, can you share that actual page, because we don't have...
This one is a bulk document. It's not contained in the report. The file is here.
So does that file have a list of beneficiaries and a list of deliveries, word by word?
Chair, what we have is a list of S13s. These are documents that you issue when you receive supplies. That have received this quantity of supplies you received with that. And then now you issue with an S11. We have them here. Now the person who receives with that S11 is the one who generates the distribution list, and it is there. All that chain is there. We can provide it.
So Governor, you're saying that you have a list of all the beneficiaries
What?
who received the receipts per word?
Yes.
Do you have it here? Can you table the entire set of documents? Can you table that?
We have it. They can go and get it.
Can they? Because we need it tabled, because that is...
Honorable Chair, before he leaves, you know, we were talking about whoever received the seats from the company or the tender, and whoever was issuing the seats from the warehouse, because they were specific based on your research. If it was going to Kaplamai, there is a form that was filled by the person in charge going to the specific ward, so that we escalate from the person in charge to the ward. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. So if they have it, we'll be glad to have them.
That information is there.
So how long do you need to bring that information? It's important to tell. So I assume that then you have the list that will indicate the dates when seeds were taken, for instance, to Machewa, Virunda, Kashudi, Sabata, Mbai, Mbao, with the numbers, with the specific numbers. Michula, Halwenge, all those places.
We have all of them.
A distribution chain.
It's here, we have. Of course, there are 25. There are 25 files.
Yes.
Because I've got 25 wards. And some wards have got more like 2-3 files because there are 2-3 venues.
So do you need time? Do you want to table them now, or do you need how much time do you need to bring those documents?
They're just in the vehicle. They can be brought.
Yes, I think rather than be brought then.
You know, the problem is we are not told the required documents. You look at the questions, Chair. So that's fairly straightforward. This information, this information, this information. But now these particular details, you know, if we're told now come with this and this and this, we'll not be having this, we'll be having all this information.
So let him avail those documents as we proceed. Senator, any other question?
Maybe, Chair.
Yes, Senator Abbas.
See, was there a public consultation when you distributing the seats? What criteria do you use? Or you give it to everybody, or you give it to specific farmers?
As I said,
Are you doing groups?
no. We use the poverty index to identify the number of eligible people for this seat in Tanzania. One of our guiding principles was that we'll give farmers who have a maximum of 0.2 acres. We call them Poidimbili. The 2 kgs of maize seed would comfortably be planted on 0.2. So prior to the distribution of these seeds, we had identified the would-be beneficiaries, and the numbers were huge. Because some places we get around 10,000 people, 15,000 people. When we issue this seed, and outside they will think it's a very chaotic assignment, but they don't know that a lot of planning has gone into it. We know our people. We know who is eligible, and we know who is not eligible. So it was not just like we call it and distribute it. That's why we've got a list of beneficiaries.
Governor, just on that question, I think it's good to clarify. Where did you get the poverty index for Tanzania? Because there's none.
Kipra.
Because there's none. Where do you get disaggregated to the wards? How do you determine poor people in Tanzania? And does it mean that if you own half an acre or 0.2 acres, as you say, then you are poor? Because there are people who own half an acre and are richer than those who own 10 acres.
Mr. Chairman, those of us who grew in the village, you don't need that to know a poor person. But there are people who think that poverty is an academic exercise. So you engage in those kind of arguments. But a person who is poor, you go to the village, yes, this person is poor. And that's what I'm talking about. A person having 0.2 acres of land, and he has got 10 children, he has got a wife, he's about to share that same piece of land with the children who are married. You know, poverty out there doesn't need indicators, academic indicators. It just need, it's known. I feel like Tanzania talking about 38% poverty index, but you look at other authorities, again they talk of 60%. So basically, like every little small-scale farmer in Tanzania is poor. If it were for me, I wouldn't even do targeting, and if I had money, I'd just buy it and distribute to everyone.
Governor, I'm asking this because I personally distribute seed. I buy and distribute.
I'm sure you struggle with means testing, even the way she struggle with means testing.
Except the money from my pocket. But let me answer the question.
Yes.
What was the threshold of poverty that your team used in seed distribution? Or did you involve, I think he's talking about public, but did you involve the ward administrators and other levels of administration to identify people who are poor?
There is a criteria that is contained. It's on page 4. I read it. The criteria is there, eligibility criteria.
Through the chair. I'm looking at the criteria, and the good minister is here. It says, your report, selection of beneficiaries was conducted through a thorough vetting process by designated ward selection committees. If I stop at that and ask through the governor, do you have minutes of the planning as a minister, the planning for the distribution of those seats at the county level, the minutes of that thing? And then escalate that to the minutes of formalizing or formulating these committees which you are in charge to formulate. And where were they done? And at what time? And then we proceed from that. When did you officially appoint these people? And that now comes to the question. Where, Governor, when you are talking us through that, it was announced in various platforms. I'd like to see if you have copies of notification to the chiefs that you have indicated, to the ward administrators as you've indicated, to the representatives of the county assembly like my good friend who is here. If we can get those notices of notification that this is the process that's going to be done. We have those minutes and that through the governor.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, proceed, the governor. Proceed.
Mr. Chair, we appear to be addressing issues that we do not know. What is the issue? Are we saying that we do not distribute seed? Are we saying that we gave to the wrong people? Are we saying that we didn't buy seed? Because we need to know what the issue is. What is the issue that we are responding to? When we look at our ingredients, that's just general statements. When we go into the specifics, what is, was there a complaint? What is the issue? So that we really know the background, so that we respond. Because what the member is talking about, it gives the employers a set way of distributing maize seed in Kenya. So you must have this committee, you must have this one. What authority is it quoting? What we need to know what the issue is. What are the issues?
Through the chair, let me just go through this. Page 4 of the submissions of eligibility criteria. Small scale landowners who are poor, widows, youth, persons with disability, and all that. Selection of beneficiaries was conducted through vetting process by designated ward selection committees.
Yes.
So the question I asked for the first time is, where are the minutes of these ward selection committees as they were doing the vetting exercise? That is my point number 1.
Let us note that one.
I proceed.
What the minutes of what committees?
The ward selection committees.
Yes.
And if the vetting was done, the minutes must indicate those people they vetted. Because it must translate into the list of beneficiaries of the seats that you procured. Okay? And I've equally asked Good Waziri to give us, if she has the minutes, because you have the authority, the first meeting of planning for the distribution of these seats to the ward, if you have those minutes, so that it cascades down to the beneficiary of the seats.
Through the chair, yes, we do.
Proceed. Do you have them? You can table them.
The minutes of what selection committees? Which files?
They were appointed by the CCM.
Yes.
Yes, so let's have the minutes of their proceedings so that we then can identify those beneficiaries. I'm sure they did. And Governor, you're asking, what are we looking for? We are not looking for anything. We are doing oversight over your processes as by the mandate of this committee. So I don't think we should be worried. And just to are you have another question? Governor, Mr. Bass, Senator, do you have any other question?
Maybe mine is actually on the same line. Honorable Speaker, Governor. You know, when you are executing this kind of force, statistics, and every vote, there must be a part of constraint where the receiving people, you have some evidence of where you are delivered, where there are photos or anything that what matters, where you met.
Chair, we have got all that information. And I said the documents we have are valid because the committees are per ward, and we have got 25 of them. We have all the information here for all the wards, the minutes, the list of beneficiaries per ward we have. And we are going to table all of them.
Governor,
if you check on your page 53,
proceed.
You look at page 3, it's appointment. This is our appointments were done. To ward.
Sorry, which page?
53.
Okay.
That's an example of one guy who was appointed and later failed. My then MCS representative. This was on the 17th of July 2024. Chair, if you can allow to read the appointment letter.
Proceed.
Like now, this appointment letter
Proceed.
Appointment to what subcon for subcon committee for scheduled crop Pukuza Nja initiative. The county government of Trans Nzoia Department of Agriculture, Irrigation, Livestock, Fisheries and Corporate Development is implementing the Pukuza Nja initiative. The program is aimed at promoting food security in the county by promoting adoption and use of certified maize seeds by small-scale farmers. The program involves identification of beneficiaries, training of farmers, distribution of certified maize seed, and monitoring and evaluation. The purpose of this letter is to communicate the decision to appoint you as a ward-level committee member for Pukuza Nja initiative for a period of 1 year from the date of this appointment. Your duty shall be to attend Pukuza Nja initiative ward-level committee meetings, help in identification and vetting of beneficiaries in accordance with the set out guidelines, conduct regular monitoring and evaluation, give reports on the progress of the agricultural programs in your ward. I wish you well as you advance services to this great county. This letter is signed by Arthur Fanis Laliaka, the County Executive Committee member for Agriculture. And then on the next page, page 5, there's a sample of the minutes. Of the meetings that were held, you can go through and see what it talks about. And this applies to all the wards. And we're going to supply appointment letters for all the members, the committee minutes, and distribution lists for the beneficiaries, because we have all of them.
Yes, Senator.
Chair, through you, I think, as the governor had mentioned earlier before, that the 7 days was not enough for him to organize documents, more documents that you might have needed. Maybe for the documents that are not present, I'm just praying if the governor can be given time to table those documents.
Yes, he has not said whether he has the minutes of all the 25 wards, or the 25 committees that were appointed.
We have.
And if he has all the list of all the beneficiaries.
We have.
And you have all details, all bank statements that paid Kenya seed that was procured.
Yes.
And you have all the details, all those who got the IDs, you have all those.
All that.
And
you can even have a sample.
And you might even say you've also brought them.
If needed, they can be brought.
I will request through the chair that even the list, samples of the list of beneficiaries should be forwarded.
Yes, even the list of beneficiaries.
It's not a sample. It's a complete list.
The
actual list of the beneficiaries.
It's very encouraging to have the entire list. We'll need those lists presented.
Yes. So, the governor, you'll present them now, or will you ask for time?
Need copies of the lists or originals?
We need the original list, because we need copy. We need to have them presented as per the.
Because now we are having
legible documents.
We are having an annual audit.
Yes.
That just started last week.
Sir, I think I'll advise eligible.
And I'm sure they're going to require this.
This one is not eligible. This one is actually not a proper.
Should be legible, yeah, because we need to have legible documents so that we don't come around. Because we look at, as long as they're properly marked.
Chair, I would request that you give us a list of all the documents that you need, so that when we go back to Kitale, we just prepare all bundles and have them delivered here.
Yes, Mr. Senator Abbas.
Yes, Chair, I think, as you rightly said, the governor said, the Secretary can write all those things, all the articles that we require, or they can bring it, especially with a short time. One other question I have is that, Honorable Governor, what is your long-term plan for seed production? Because now that you have this program, one day we think, and you cannot be able to be spending a lot of money on this, spending 100 million years, right? And what is your plan for seed bulking and seed productions? Do you have a land for seed bulking?
Chair, when county government decides to buy seed, for farmers. And it generates a lot of excitement among the farmers. It goes to explain the level of poverty among the people, especially food poverty. We've given ourselves another maybe 2 years, because even now it's a lot of progress, a lot of improvement. There's a lot of food security at the household level now. Actually, we're planning to do a bit of also subsidizing fertilizer, so that we really produce enough food. So once we are satisfied that our farmers can really now produce food and therefore start engaging in other economic activities, we're going to stop this, because even tokenism doesn't really last. It appears to be tokenism really, but we're just helping farmers. So once they're stable and they can stand on their own 2 feet, they can go to the shop and buy their own seed. We'll be good to go.
And now that you're talking about sustainability, it's important, just a follow-up question. Did you follow up? Did your CCM and team follow up to find out, 1, whether the seeds germinated, 2, whether they are ready in the field, and 3, whether there are proper follow-up mechanisms that you intend to, as it were, M&D, whether you want to be following up this program as a continuous program of the county, or was it just a one-off?
It's not a one-off program, because you can't fight poverty in just 1 year. So it's a long-term program. Actually, we're going to focus on this for my first time in office, this first 5 years. Provision of seed is going to be key. But Chair, I want to beg you, because you guys are Chakorogewa, Nairobi, why can't you find time and come to Kitale? Just come to Trans Nzoia.
You want us to visit the farms?
Please.
Governor?
Please, I can even facilitate it. Just come to the ground. Sort of talking about an academic exercise just being done somewhere. Just come and see for yourself, especially now. Just come. Because we're looking as if this something just happened somewhere in the air, the beneficiaries are not there, Kenya seed maybe is not there. Please come to the ground.
Sure.
Yes, Senator.
I think I want to tell the governor that the Senate has enough money to go to the field. It cannot be facilitated. We don't need facilitation. However, it's good to go visit the place to see at least how farmers appreciate the program.
Governor, under Standing Order 228, we are well resourced, so we can arrange, this committee can determine the mode of conducting its proceedings. We can decide after hearing you and after going through all these voluminous documents to visit, to actually come and see some of the farms. I have noted that in some pages, I think there are people who signed for others. I've seen, for instance, this is Napiswa. Napiswa, I can see that Colin Nasimiyu, Kutuhulu, and Alubina Naliaka Simiyu have the same ID number. They are both widows and they have the same signature, for instance. So that, these are the concerns which you may not know, and which the CCM may not even know. And that brings me to the question. Was this program foolproof? Can you speak for this program? Or are there people who received seeds for other people, or people who are not poor who came in and received seeds for other people?
Chair, the standards that you are holding me to, you can't even hold yourselves to.
No, my list of no double.
Because really you can get one person maybe getting to, those things we must make a provision for them. One person can sign for the other, really it happens. But if you want to come to Trans Nzoia, don't take too much time, because this maize is not just stagnant, it's growing. You come around October, you find no maize. You have harvested. So please come in this month of June, July, and even just see the beauty of Trans Nzoia in terms of maize. The plantations of small-scale farmers, but it may look like just a large plantation, but they're different, only by different small-scale farmers.
Through the chair, number 4 of the submissions on, page number 4 on the eligibility, the acreage was there, widow, elderly persons with disability, resource poor individuals, selection, that is page 4. Now I want us to go to page 53. the minutes that we just read and look at what was introduced. And then that one will inform us to ask a question which I'll bring later. The chair gave out guidelines and criteria to be used for those to benefit from seed maize as follows. 1, should be a resident of Saboti Ward.
Which page?
Mine reads 53. Mine reads 53.
The fourth.
Yes, so the governor's submission.
53.
Yes, page 53. Mine is 53. I think we have an issue with the numbering. Are we all there? So the minute says, the chair gave out guidelines and criteria to be used for those to benefit from seed maize as follows. Should be a resident of Saboti Ward, at least have 0.1 of an acre of land, should either be of the above persons, should be one who can acquire fertilizer for the farm. Now, when the minister was giving directions up here, there was no criteria that they should acquire fertilizer to the farm. Because a poor person without the capacity cannot be able to buy. Then it brings me to my other question. In the financial preparation of planning, was there any money set aside for fertilizer, subsidy fertilizer for the farmers? And if so, how was it used? And how were the beneficiaries found? Thank you.
Yes, Governor.
Chair, before the governor
First,
responds.
please. There are too many questions.
The Governor, hold on before Senator.
Yes, I am chairing another ICT committee.
Yes.
Just begging to step out.
So, Senator, do you have any remarks or any questions or any clarification you need from the Governor before you leave? So you can take up that question together with.
No, Chair, I think I am just a friend of the committee, and I believe the committee has their own mandates. So I think I was just begging for, as I was saying, I was just begging for, of course, fairness in whatever is being prosecuted. But I thank you.
Senator, I hear you to say that we are fair in our proceedings and that you're happy with the proceedings. Thank you. We are very fair. The Senator is agreeing, we are very fair.
Let me go on record and say I acknowledge you are very fair.
Yes, that's our DNA. Governor, proceed.
The criteria, the first criteria is talking about 0.1. I want to believe it's a typo. Because the criteria is very clear and it's done through a circular. 2 kg.
Excuse me, Governor. Now that you've mentioned about a circular, can Waziri provide that circular that she delivered to the ward administrators and the ward agricultural officers? That circular in particular.
Yes, I'll supply it in a few.
Please
We have
proceed.
it. Thank you.
So, in terms of your fertilizer can also be manure. You know, you don't just plant beans. You don't have artificial fertilizer. You can get. How much is it?
I think we are dealing with a very serious matter. That's why I generated the next question. Because here it means they can procure their own fertilizer. And procuring is a process. It's if it were in our culture, then you could have advised them just to walk to the nearby farm if one has no animal. But now my question was specific. This procurement aspect of fertilizer, why did the minister put it here and not on the circular? And I want that circular here.
We just encouraging farmers that whenever you give you certified seed and you plant it without fertilizer, you're not going to get the 6 bags of maize that we are telling you. We may get 3, not because the seed was bad, but because we not give it enough nutrients.
Governor,
It's not like just the first rule cast in stone.
my good governor, it is not for the person to feel motivated by that sentence. That's why there was something called public participation and involvement of the chief, Nikuru, the ward agriculture officer. If it were in their minutes, we will see clearly they being motivated to look for an option to do that. That's why I'm raising this concern and asking our good Waziri, give us the memo that came from your office to guide. And in fact, it now brings me to, do you even have a policy that guides these farm inputs? Yes?
Can we go maybe question by question? Because there are many questions at the same time.
You can respond to
Okay.
each.
At the same time.
How many of you about? You can disaggregate. Start with the first one.
You know, we say we are procuring seed for poor people, seed. So you cannot give a condition that you must be able to acquire fertilizer. Instead of defeating, if you cannot buy seed, how can you buy fertilizer? So our focus is seed. And we're talking about seed. That's got nothing to do. This one is a misplaced statement there by a chairman who should be held personally accountable for doing this minutes because no one knows what they were told. It's not a requirement. And Chair, please get it from me because I'm the guest in charge of that county and I know what I'm doing there. I've not made any requirement for fertilizer as a precondition for getting maize seed. It's not there.
Maize can grow in Trans Nzoia without fertilizer.
You can boost it with manure. Yeah, and actually we're moving away from some of these artificial fertilizers like DAP. The national government put 76 million shillings on the budget for fertilizer in Trans Nzoia. It was supposed to be a conditional grant. It was on our budget. We never saw a single cent. If we had gotten that money, we would have been able to supply both seed and fertilizer. And we'll be in a better place. Not be talking about 3 years, we'll be talking about 2 years. To sufficiency of food security at the household level.
So,
Maybe you can move the next question, the policy question.
let me just take members through. And I will request now that Governor has stepped in to say that is an erroneous requirement, that the county government now submits to us the other minutes, and I want the Secretariat, can you check all the other minutes? If that sentence appears on the criteria for the seat. Now, looking at, according to the 2009 county fact sheet democratic data, Trans Nzoia County had a total population of 990,341, with 811 residing in rural areas. Down there, finally, in terms of agricultural engagement, 129 households were involved in crop production, 96,800 households in livestock production, and 6,636 households participated in other farming-related activities. Now, having that statement that either one can procure fertilizer or they can apply manure, from an informed point of view as a ministry, what are the numbers of the poor farmer who has manure based on the latest survey that you've done that can now encourage manure to be applied on 2 kilograms of seedlings?
Governor, did you bother to find out who has manure, or you just gave seed? I think that's the long and short of the question. And then the policy question, respond to the policy question. That was.
You know, Chairman, the problems of the rural farmers are very many. As a county, we are addressing one now, which is seed. We give you seed. If you're going to get artificial fertilizer, get manure and plant with it, so be it. But we have given you seed, go and plant. Because the problem was, they were not even planting certified seed. They'll get this year's harvest, get the best product, put it on some fireside, not be able to dry it properly, the following year they plant it. And production is going down, down, down. So we stepped in as government to provide certified seed. All these other things are also important. Fertilizer is important, manure is important. But for us, it's not our main concern. The main concern is to reach as many farmers as possible in terms of certified seed. And we're struggling. This year we did very well because Kenya Seed had previously quoted the price of 690, which through government intervention, they were able to revise it downward to 420, enabling us to procure almost double. So we reached very many farmers, but not all of them. We want to strive to reach as many farmers as possible, just in terms of certified maize seed first. Then now we'll see as a county if we can now start coming in terms of fertilizer. Even if they just provide maybe 2 kilos or 4 kilos, because not very many farmers can actually procure fertilizer. Even the subsidy by the government, you supply fertilizer, you put it in a store, and just 2 farmers, big ones, they'll come and clear everything. One farmer wants to go and pick 1 bag of fertilizer, traveling 20 kilometers, really it's not economical. So that was not just to like it.
Sure. Let me ask you a question just to so are you saying that your fertilizer initiative aligns well with the bottom-up transformation initiative?
The seed.
So you are
the seed initiative
you are
aligns well
yes.
with that better.
So you actually ascribe.
I want the national government.
Transformation.
I want the national government to come to Transoya
Yes.
and benchmark that indeed is possible, even for this bottom-up economic transformation agenda, to provide even free fertilizer. All counties in the world subsidy farmers.
Which you believe in now.
Chair.
Even before reading that blueprint.
Excellent. But now wait again. What is the total acreage that was planted, the seed that you gave? What total acreage was planted
Kagai,
under that seed? I think that's an important question.
the crops guy can respond.
Yes.
So that's for the information.
And what is the projected food target? What is the projected production that you as a county expect out of that initiative?
Maybe I want to get
Without
before you respond. Chairman, I think I don't know if it's in order for the governor to say that their concerns is only to provide seeds. The concern is food production. You want to enhance food production. So you must be able to know, by the time you're giving this farmer some seeds, suspect seeds, then you must also have a follow-up on the output. How much food is being produced in that place? Out of the knowledge you have provided, how much food has been produced? And how many acres have been covered? But if you see only your concerns are only to give seeds, that's not right.
No, that you didn't get me right.
Food security is a concern. You want to enhance food security.
Well, you didn't get me right.
Right.
I said in food production, there are many components.
Yes.
The government now is providing technical input through our extension officers, and we are applying seed for the farmer. If we get adequate resources, we can still provide fertilizer. But we know the number of farmers and the amount of land that they have cultivated this year. We have projections on how much maize could be produced this year. And we have consistently increased the production since we began this program. Production has been growing up every year. I think this year we're projecting 6.2. We are projecting 6.2 million bags of 9 kilograms. Yeah, and Tanzania, I think, is the second largest producer of maize. Yeah.
So, I mean, when did you start this program for When did you start the program?
This was the 3rd year.
This third year.
Yeah, and every year you can see progress in terms of production.
So, what's the success that you are going to tell us? You have a success story to tell us that from the first year to this year.
Yes. Actually, for the last 3 years, we have added 1 million bags from 5.2 to 6.2 million.
Okay.
Through the chair, I want to appreciate these seats, but I want to ask a very critical question. These names that I have, the rubber stamps are there, all of them. From the first page, there is no date. Rubber stamps throughout, very fresh rubber stamps, but there is no date. That is number one. Number two, we have given.
What do you mean fresh?
The ink is as new as Dodo. I can hand over my file to chair. The rubber stamps are fresh. There are no dates on the rubber stamps.
How does a phrase rubber stamp look like?
Just as it you presented it, Governor.
Chairman, that's why I was
Number
asking.
two,
No, it's okay, it's okay.
it is very clear. You can hand over the file to him.
Governor, I also do not have expertise in freshness. I can only look through my eyes.
My eyes are fresh. I'm young and smart.
So this is not enough.
No,
Let him proceed.
whoever thinks about it knows what he's thinking. Now I'm asking through the chair.
That's the question.
These seats as we give, I'm getting good projections. Do we have data of how much each farmer harvested? Because we are running into a problem in this country where we are giving farm inputs for free over and over, but no institution is giving us returns and value for the benevolence of the national government or benevolence of the county governments. And we must ensure our farmers are self-sustaining moving forward. Do we have data that Alubina from Machewa got 2 kilos, harvested this, and it's a good projection, tabulated as part of evaluation and reporting?
We have, Chair. We have that information, but for this session, we are focusing on this year. I can't really give you that information because we are yet to harvest. You have to wait until we harvest, then we'll know how much maize every farmer has harvested from the seed that we've distributed. But if we go backwards, we can give the exact figures. Of course, we can't go to every farmer, but we can do an average and see these farmers have increased their production by this much.
Thank you.
But the data is there. If you want us to avail it, include in the list of documents, give us 1 week, every document will be here.
As I finish, because I'll still come back, why I'm asking that is the national government, using their village elders, they assist government in getting data of those vulnerables to get subsidized fertilizer. And if pushed or asked, they can table results. How many extension services officers are you using to give us feedback? Proceed, Waziri.
Waziri can respond with the permission of the...
Through the chair, thank you. As a county, we have a number of extension personnel categorized as the county government, and 2 we have the agripreneurs. For agripreneurs, we have a total of 167 employed by the national government, and for the county government, we have a total of 247. Whilst the ward agricultural officers, sub-county agricultural officers, and the field agricultural officers. So we work as a team. Thank you.
And do these people do their work? Because I said by now, the question I have asked, they need to have given you feedback. Because that is a very huge number of people with boots on the ground.
Yes, they do. I personally go out with my officers here and give a weekly report to His Excellency the Governor. We do.
So through the chair, I will request that in the next 7 days, they submit to us the 2023-2024 projected outcome of the maize and the actual, because the data, they have given us the data of every farmer. Every farmer.
We do have the projection with us.
And now I want us, the same way the spirited filing of the beneficiaries, we are looking forward to get what the farmer harvested out of the benevolence of the state, so that we can be able to evaluate, is it adding value to Kenyans or we are wasting taxpayers' money? Second question with regard to harvesting, Honorable Chair. We are talking about harvesting. What is the post-management practices of this maize that we have given to the farmer?
Yes, yes, yes.
Post-management. Take us.
Governor, I think the CCM has a very powerful voice. You could respond.
Yes.
Thank you. Through the chair, we want to indicate that as a county government, we are so much concerned with the post-harvest losses. And through the national government, we received 2 dryers for Saboti and 2 dryers for Mavuno and Cherengani sub-counties. We also had a program, KSEP Cereal, that provided us with mobile dryers, which we use for our small farmers. And then as a county government, we have 2 big dryers that are usually hired. So we're in process of managing. Thank you.
Chair devolution, allow me to execute this matter.
Let I finish.
Waziri, can you take us step by step? How many dryers does the county government have?
Through the chair, I want to indicate that in Trans Nzoia County we have warehouses. In these warehouses, which we identified, some of them got dryers from the national government. And I can cite, we have Kapsitwet in Kwanza constituency that received a dryer. Then we have Mavuno in Cherengani that received a dryer from the national government. Subsequently, we also have other donor-funded projects, and in this case, I want to cite the KSEP Cereal project that was then in Trans Nzoia County. It is no longer in the county. We received 8 mobile dryers, and this targeted the small-scale farmers. As a county government, we also...
Just pause there.
Thank you.
The Kapsitwet dryer, who's running the Kapsitwet? It's government funded to a cooperative.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The Mavuno dryer is a cooperative, right?
Yes.
What about Suegwa, Huruma?
It is a cooperative, but it did not receive the national dryer.
Now,
Yeah.
that tells you the committee knows, right? What about the county dryers that were purchased 2018, 2019?
For the case of Sinyereri,
Yes.
when we assumed office, there was a stalled dryer at Sinyereri Cooperative.
Yes.
We tried to look for ways of repairing, but the information we were given by the mechanics and those people who operate that there were no spare parts to match the said dryer. And that's why up to date, we were unable to source where the dryers were bought from and how we can repair. So as we talk, the dryer is still there.
I'm not working.
Not working.
Let me, through the chair, take you through the budgets, through the chair, and then allow people to talk.
Just ask questions.
I have a concern.
I'm at the...
Just a concern too.
Yes,
Just one.
Raise your concern.
Yes, Governor. I hope you are raising it as Governor.
Yes. Are we still talking about procurement and dispute of seed maize to farmers in Trans Nzoia? Because we have veered off the subject completely. We are talking about other people's harvest process.
Governor, let me just, understanding order 228.3, when you are invited to a committee to deal with a matter, there are related matters that the committee can ask. And if you have knowledge and the CCM system knowledge, she can respond. If you don't have the information, you can seek time to avail documents, because there's the question of seed maize and this program is closely intertwined with the dryers, because that is about maize. That's what you use, you dry maize. And as I said, the CCM has a powerful voice and powerful responses that we all want to listen to.
Thank you, Chair.
We are about to start speculating. Because now you ask a question and somebody's giving an answer. You can't say that.
No, it's possible to say you don't know. It's
that
possible
we know everything from 2018 up to now. No. What happened in 2018? Are we being fair?
Governor, you're the one who said you proceed. If there are questions that are asked and where you don't have information, CCM would have said, no, I can get 7 days, because you will have time anyway to supply all the documents. You'll get time. Then you can appear next time after we've gone through these documents to respond to some of the things. You don't have to respond to everything on top of your head. CCM, I will protect you from the senator if he asks an intrusive question. And you can say you don't know and you need time to respond. Proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for this leverage, Chair, because as a committee we look from the inception of the program to the end of the program, so that evaluation, when it's done, the taxpayer of this republic must know there is value for money. Now I want to take us through a brief. As of 30th, 2023, Trans-Nzoia recorded varied levels of budget utilization across its main programs. Under crop diversification program, actual expenditure amounted to 382 million against an approved allocation of 545 million. In the post-harvest management and value addition program, expenditure stood at 38 million compared to an approved estimate of 80 million plus. Why I'm asking this question is very fundamental to the process of ensuring that the farmer, when you give him the free maize with God's grace, without fertilizer, they harvest enough to dry it if they want surplus to sell, and that is what they can eat. Now, if with this budget you have stalled county dryers and running cooperative dryers run by the cooperatives, then what value are we adding as a government to the farmer of Trans-Nzoia? And expected that when you said you have 8 other mobile dryers, you quickly tell us where they are and their status. And Kenyans are following to know whether those places have those dryers or the dryers are something else. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Yes, CCM, respond if you are able to. If you need time, you can say.
Thank you, through the chair. I want to indicate that as a county government, we received the mobile dryers and we equally distributed to the 5 sub-counties. And they are usually run by the cooperatives. We began the initiative where cooperatives manage farmers' issues. 2, concerning the Sinyereri dryer, it is not like all dryers have stalled. And we are not in a position to procure the spare part of that particular dryer.
Chair.
Yes, Senator Abbas.
Yes, Chair, I think, you know, Italy is the food basket of this country. And the kinds of information that we're getting, the feedback we're getting, they're very sketchy. So, I don't know, I think the government was not prepared, as Ihali has said. So I think I'll ask the committee to hide more questions and more information to source for more information. Because we need to know whether the county maintains a formal register for farmers indicating the farming what kind of activities they have, crops grown, livestock kept, these kind of things. You know, most of us are focusing on Kitale for this country's food production, especially maize. But of course, the way you guys are playing, and I think because you are know it and know what time it happened, you are not giving up the real feedback well. So I request the channel to you.
Order, Senator Abbas. The governor is not annoyed. The governor is.
No, he looks like.
No, he's not annoyed. He's just the sugars.
Okay, I withdraw my statement.
Yes, the governor, if you need time, you know, Senator Abbas is from Wajir, where they don't farm. And he's saying that Trans-Nzoia is the food basket of this country. So if you think you need time because there are other questions,
yes,
then you can indicate. And if the CCM response is satisfactory, she can indicate if she needs opportunity to table documents supporting her statement. If not, then we just proceed.
Maybe to add on that, I'll just say how much fund is being taken for farming, post-harvesting costs for farmers, and maybe how much are spent as a county. You know, that most important thing is post-harvest. You can plant the maize, but of course, if you don't meet all the requirements for the post-harvest, then you lose a lot of maize. So, but you are not getting how much was the cost of post-harvest, how much waste was produced, and you are saying that you had 3 years successful, 3 years of program. So I think there are a lot of information that has not been provided by your office.
So on that, let Senator ask the question so that you see if we can tell.
I just want to satisfy the conscience of members here that the figures I gave earlier was 2023-2024. Where I believe that the issues of post-harvest need to be given a lot of attention, and part of the presentation we expect as Kenyans is that in the financial year 2023-2024, the good county of Trans Nzoia spent 60,826,000 as part of post-harvest management, below an approved allocation of 202 million. This indicates the shortcomings that we are hearing here today. I will want Waziri to tell us what mechanisms you are now putting in place.
Order, Senator, is the governor.
Sorry, through the governor of the great county of Trans Nzoia. What measures you are putting in place to avoid such kind of embarrassing absorption of national resources?
Through the chair,
Proceed.
I would like clarity of the 60 million which was used for the post-harvest.
Do you have your performance index 2023-2024 as a ministry?
Yes,
I want our secretariat to project it on the screen if we are online. Are we there? Then check on your performance index, was it?
CCM, the figures are based on the reports of the controller of budget. So maybe you want to, if you do not have that report, you may not respond. You may not.
Yeah, some of those figures are strange. We don't remember having put any money in our budget for post-harvest.
When we are telling you you're not prepared, you
No, we are prepared. When the money is not on the budget.
But you see, now you don't know.
The money is not on the budget.
So,
Yeah,
so COP, would the COP write things that are not there?
You know, sometimes you fight for the money. Like 76 million is on the budget. So it was not there. COP knows the money is on the budget. The money never arrived in Trans Nzoia. It's possible. So when he said we will have no money, no budget for post-harvest losses, as governor of Trans Nzoia, please take my word for it. So I'm not speculating.
So Governor, COP, so these figures of COP are to be verified.
They should.
So we need to, then it means that you then need to have the report of the controller or of the auditor general to know what projections were correct, whether you receive those monies or not, because then we are working on documents that, as you say, are not verifiable at this time. And that's why I said you needed time. Just listen to us sometimes.
Chairman, even if you give me a whole year, I can't predict what you want me to give without giving me the requirements of the document that you need. Because you must tell me you need this and this and this, then I'll provide it.
Chair.
Yes, Senator,
I think, Chair, we're just not moving in cycles. The best thing is let's give the governor all the documents that's required. Let him bring all the documents.
That will solve our problem.
Governor, it appears that because we do not want to be cyclic in this committee, we don't want to move around circles and to be, or what I would say, to be sinuous or serpentine, where you're going back and forth. And to avoid all these histrionics, we'll give you time. The directions are that we give you 7 days to table all documents. We will accompany our request to attend with a letter indicating what documents we need or that we are referring to. And then we also will need another 7 days to go through all the documents that you have submitted to us. And then certainly we'll have another date to interrogate some of these details. As I've told you, some people have signed for others. There are people who are widows twice. A man who is a widow and a woman who is a widow, and we do not know. Signatures are the same. So we need to go through these documents. And when you come back next time, your powerful CCM can then respond to these issues without a doubt.
Tell us the documents that you did.
We will.
And we'll avail
We'll
them.
give a full list.
Yeah, just give us a full list, because some of these questions are apparently as an ambush.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not for even you as a lawyer, you know these things.
Of course, Governor. Yeah, you cannot doubt that.
Chair, can I say something? I'm Osoro Patrick, the Chief Officer, Agriculture and Irrigation.
Yes, Mr. Osoro.
Through the chair.
Through the governor. Through the governor. Yes. Proceed, Mr. Osoro.
Yes. Chair, I wanted you to confirm, because I'm the finance in charge as accounting officer for agriculture. 2023-2024. I want to confirm that we didn't get 60 million for post-harvest losses, and let it be in record.
You are confirming that you did not receive the money.
Yes.
You are confirming that the control of budget records are incorrect.
Chair.
The control of budget, I don't know. But what we have, because that is what was passed in the county assembly, we didn't get 60 million for post-harvest losses. That is true.
Chair, may I ask one question?
Yes, Senator.
Maybe I want to ask, I'm sorry, I want to ask for clarification. Who's supposed to give you the money? The money, I thought you were already giving a budget. Is it? You have a county budget. So whom are you asking the money? Who was supposed to give you the money? The 60 million?
Through the chair.
Go ahead.
You know, Honorable Senator,
Yes.
we have documents, surely. Why don't we base this argument
No,
on the
I'm
documents?
only asking you a question. You say that you did not receive the 60 million for post-harvest. The county has its own budget. Was that money supposed to be part of the budget of the county? Was it coming from PROCA? Was it coming from national government? Be very specific.
Through the chair, the money was not in the budget.
We didn't budget for it. Anybody said there was money on the budget and Tokena ametoa figure. Our approved budget by the county assembly, which I sent it through, does not have a provision of 60
Senator. Yeah, Senator, past Governor, we'll avoid all these histrionics. We will adjourn. Before we adjourn, Governor, do you have anything to say on behalf of your team?
Chairman, the only thing I want to say is that for us to prepare well to come to the Senate, we should be given what the Senate requires. So if you're coming to talk about procurement, and then we are taking most of the time talking about other related issues, that nobody gave us even a hint that we are supposed to come and respond to them. We come here and then we appear as if we are not prepared. But believe you me, if you gave us the list of requirements, we'll be the first people to come here and produce that list. But come in Mtego, you know, when you say someone says, this is something like that, you know, really, we want to have those nitty-gritties that a governor ordinarily will not have that information. I'll have to go and get that information. But the information is available, is there. So just give us adequate time, give us a list of what we need, and let this session not just be about procurement of medicine, because honestly it's not. We are discussing the entire Department of Agriculture in Trans Nzoia and the activities of that department. But we came here knowing that we're talking about procurement of maize seeds, and if the procurement process was above board, and who benefited. But now we have discussed the Department of Agriculture, even before I came in office 2018. How can I know those things? But if you told me that we're going to come from that time, I'll go to the archives and I'll get the information. I won't say that that's all I am, I'll just provide that information as the governor of Trans Nzoia. Just as simple as that.
Governor, Senators, do you have any?
Well, I think
closing remark?
what I'm saying is that, Your Excellency, I want you to open up your mind. We have done our best to at least accommodate you for today. Because we have told the chairman to sit out of the city, to stand aside. The committee has reserved the session. And then we have another chairman. But we have still not opened up very well. So please, next time you come, I want you to open your mind and tell us the truth of the matter. Because we have no political interest yet. We never belong to a party, we never belong to a police. This is a central house. We were senators, and we will give you the fair hearing. So please, I want you to come next time, Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, to have an open mind that you can be asking any questions. Because when somebody is auditing you, Even when you go to court, the judge will ask you every question. You know that must be told everything. So with all this respect, please feel free. And next time, please answer the questions. Not with a bit of prejudice. We don't have any prejudice. This is a committee of 9 people. And if you are not believing in maybe the chairman, then believe in us. And we'll give you a fair hearing. Is that okay?
Senator.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and members of the committee and the team from the Great County of Trans Nzoia and the Secretariat. My finishing remarks will be as follows. The Ministry of Agriculture is a broad ministry, and it's the backbone of this country and the Great County of Trans Nzoia. The farmers of maize are the majority in Trans Nzoia. We have peasant farmers, those who are getting 2 kilos of maize, and we have cash crop farmers, those with big tracts of land. And it's very important that when an investment of that magnitude is invested in the people must transcend or improve from dependency syndrome to self-sustaining. And that must be done through collaboration of both the local leadership, the county leadership, and the national leadership. What has been exhibited here today is a true reflection of what is happening across the country in the ministries of agriculture. And for us to change the wheel as a committee and as a Senate, we must delve deeper from the beginning to the end of the value chain and ensure the taxpayers' money is accounted for and the people are satisfied and contented that truly the process is above board, they are harvesting what they deserve, and the country gets the due fare of the tax they give. I am very sorry if we have brushed shoulders here, but we are basically saying that people must be held accountable. And that is why we are asking detail by detail, document by document, to ensure that the perception and aspersions carried forward by people that this committee is not fair must be dispelled off with, and the people must know that the Senate of the Republic of Kenya has turned a new leaf on oversight, accountability, and representation. And the time that is going to be given must be used prudently to facilitate this House with correct, accurate, prompt information that can hold any one of us accountable. We are going to go through these documents with a toothpick and ensure that what has been said is truly and nothing but the truth. I want to stop at that and thank the great people of Trans Nzoia for coming, for opening up, sharing with us, and we want to commit ourselves to be champions of democracy and defenders of devolution. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Governor, finally, let me just also thank you. And just note 2 things. One, you have not updated your website to include complete financial documents as required under PFM. Do that in good time so that that does not become an issue. Number 2, I don't know why you're worried about Mtego. This is not State House where there are Mtegos. Here, this Parliament, we have no Mtegos, and there are no people who are in charge of Mtegos to trap others. Here we're just a committee doing its work above board, and we will ensure that we treat everyone fairly. That is how it is, and you have a big team of officers who appear competent. They seem to understand. Now, I think we have given you timelines, 7 days, and we will also require of you to indicate to you if there are documents we are referring to within the contents of the letter that we shall write to you. Then we can convene again after we've gone through after recess, so you have enough time for the department, the chief officer who is saying he did not receive money, but the record says he received. The CCM who is here and who has a powerful voice, responding to every question on point. When you come back, I'm sure you'll even have better responses to the question, so that as Chair then said, we deal with everything, and you also show us how beneficial this program is to the country and to your people, so that it is not a loss-making enterprise, so that we can emulate this program. Personally, I give seed, and now I'm in the process of going around the farms to see how the seeds have turned out. And that is how it is. So I thank you very much. Have a good journey back to Tanzania. Yes, Senator Bass.
I want these documents.
Yes.
It's not
Can you take back, CCM, can you take back and have your documents paginated?
Yes.
Properly item, because they are not, and some are not clear. The pages that are not page 13, page 12, page 16, all those things are not, so that you don't have, they're not prejudiced when a report is written and a document is not legible. It's only fair that we treat you well, so that you don't say that you are, and then you can sign all of them, Governor. You said you're in office, so it's okay. Yeah, it's a good thing. Just sign that we don't have.
Are we taking back the documents or signing now?
I think you paginate. That CFO, that's your work. The chief officer, agriculture, to make sure they are paginated so that you have a clean document. You know, the governor, you are too smart for some of these documents. You cannot be giving us documents that are not.
Timeline 3 days.
Yeah,
all these questions, 3 days.
Yes, but you are too smart. When at least on TV.
Thank you.
So we formally adjourn the meeting to when we convene next. Thank you very much. You can take your leave. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we can't have it.